Welcome to Split Ends and Friends podcast. This podcast isn't just about hair, makeup, fashion, and how to be successful in this industry. We will talk about all that, but it's much more. It's about how hairstylists are changing the world. We're bringing communities together and making a difference. We're spreading kindness around like confetti. Hosted by Tricia Rivas, owner of Trixies Salon and founder of the nonprofit Dreamcatchers Foundation, Inc., and co-hosted by Hannah Arendt, social media guru, hairstylist at Trixies, and director of education. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Split Ends and Friends podcast. We are so excited about our guest that we have today. Her name is Cheyenne, and she is the president of FemCity. And for those who are not familiar, we'll tell you all about what FemCity is, but it really has been something that has made a huge difference with our business, Tricia, in a huge way, and a lot of people we know in the community and here in Des Moines. And of course, Cheyenne, where are you located?
So I work out of my home office in Annapolis, Maryland.
Oh, I love Maryland.
I know. I wish we were there.
I know.
Instead of here.
Oh my goodness. Send us some syrup.
This is a pretty time of year. It's warming up and people are starting to take their boats out and it's really, really pretty here by the water.
So Cheyenne, would you just mind kind of giving us a rundown of kind of all that you do? Because I don't know probably even as much as Tricia does about you, except for what I've, learned via social media.
Oh, sure.
As we all do.
So I am the president of the FemCity organization. And so I know you two are both familiar with FemCity, but for those who aren't, FemCity is an international community really for women in business. And it's especially designed for women who are female entrepreneurs who are launching a business, growing their business, expanding their business. Maybe they have multiple businesses, maybe they're scaling their businesses, but we're really a community for women in business. And we have about 100 physical locations throughout North America. So that's the US and Canada, where we've had rapid expansion the last year. And we have physical locations just like where you are in Des Moines. And that's one of what we call our flagship FemCity. So it's a large FemCity with robust event programming in Des Moines. And that's led by Emily Steele, one of our most amazing and successful FemCity presidents, but we also have smaller FemCity chapters that we call collectives all around the country. And these are for women who don't have a big flagship like you do in Des Moines, but they still want to get together and support each other in their businesses and just be champions for each other and be a great resource for each other.
Yeah. I actually took a networking class, an authentic networking class at Brand Launch last night. So Brand Launch is Emily and Whitney's new space for their business. And it was just, of course, absolutely beautiful. And Annie, who I met through FemCity again, and Emily, oh my goodness, I just have so many wonderful friends that, through FemCity and constantly making those connections. So it's been a phenomenal thing for Des Moines to have FemCity, especially with Emily's leadership.
I love hearing that.
Oh my goodness, yes. Yes. Oh my goodness, yes. We could just do a whole podcast on Emily.
Yeah. I know. I agree. We could do a whole podcast dedicated to Emily and her amazing leadership. She's really a special person.
Oh my goodness, she is. Yeah. So, what makes FemCity different than other FemCity or other than women networking groups?
That is funny you ask, because I think that is probably the most common question I get everywhere I go. Whether it's I'm talking to someone on the phone who wants to know more about FemCity, or I meet someone in person at a FemCity event and they're asking for more information. The number one question I receive is, okay, so there are lots of women's, networking groups, and what makes FemCity different? And it's interesting because I have thought a lot about that over the years, and I've been involved with FemCity for about 10 years now. And it was founded by my dear friend and business partner, Violet de Ayala. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because over the years, we have tried to really kind of defined maybe what it is about the product or the service or the experience that is different. But I come back to one thing all the time. And for me, I feel like the difference in FemCity is that the spirit of it is just different from other women's groups.
Mm-hmm.
It has this spirit about it that is just really hard to define and explain until you experience it for yourself. And so for me, the difference with FemCity from all other female networking groups, and there are many other great groups out there, but there's just something about the spirit of FemCity that can't be defined, but can only be experienced.
Yeah. And we've talked about that before also, because I'm very involved with FemCity and NABO. And, you know, I get asked all the time, well, if you could join one, what would it be? And I'm like, okay, there's not just joining one.
Right.
You have to join both.
Right. It's a different experience and different opportunities within each community.
It is. And this is how I describe it, is that FemCity has a lot of new business owners, and when you talk about that spirit, I mean, they're excited, they're hungry, they want to change the world, and I absolutely love that. They have all these questions, they're curious, you know, they're out to conquer the world, but they want to have you with them to do it.
I think that's very accurate.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes. So what started the idea? You know, I know a little bit about the story of why FemCity started, but tell us the story.
So Violet started FemCity in the Miami area, and it was really just it started with a handful of women getting together for lunch on a regular basis, with the idea that, wouldn't it be nice if we could just put something on our calendar? I think it was about 7 women at first, and they would get together for lunch once a month, and it became something that they all just really looked forward to and didn't want to miss. Interestingly, I lived in Miami for many years, and it's where I went to school.
Okay.
And I moved away from Miami, and I moved to the Philadelphia area for a job with my husband and my one son at the time. And I remember hearing from friends that they heard about this FemCity thing. So a few other women were invited, then a few more women were invited, and Violet established what is now FemCity, and just a regular monthly get together over lunch. And I heard about it, and I said, gosh, you know, I'm part of these groups in Philadelphia, but I would really just love something like that, where I could just, you know, have something on my calendar that I look forward to getting together with other women, maybe sharing a meal together and talking about our businesses or our careers, or juggling family and business and career, you know, just other women who are maybe, you know, experiencing life in a similar way that I am, and business in a similar way that I am. And I couldn't find anything like that. And so I actually reached out to Violet on LinkedIn, and I said, I've heard about this FemCity thing you've got going on. Have you thought about doing this in other places? And she said, well, actually, I have thought about it. You know, maybe you'd like to start one. And I said, okay. Explain to me exactly what you're doing in Miami, and I will do exactly that in Philadelphia. And it's interesting because I was, at that time, you know, new to the area, so I was probably officially the least networked person to start anything that resembled a networking group at all. So I was the least connected person. But what I found was other women were having that feeling that I was having. They were looking for connection with other women. And when I started reaching out, even to women I didn't know, they said, oh my gosh, that sounds lovely. I would love to get together. I would love to do this with you. And we were off and running. And now, you know, over the years, we've figured out what women are looking for. We've tweaked things along the way. We've changed things as the economy and the landscape of women in business has changed. And now here we are 10 years later with 100 locations.
Yeah. Now, I don't know about other locations, but I do have to tell you, men have a tendency to get their panties in a bunch when they can't join our group, like Jacob Rep. He's our male ambassador. You know, Jake.
We have a lot of great male ambassadors.
Yes.
My husband, when I started FemCity Philadelphia, I would get calls from women on my cell phone, and they would say, "Oh my gosh, I just met your husband. I know this sounds weird, but I just met your husband, and he gave me your cell phone number. And this Fem City thing, the way he describes it really sounds incredible. And can I get an invitation to the next luncheon?" So we have a lot of great male ambassadors, and we're thankful for them.
Oh my gosh. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my goodness. I love it. So, tell us a little bit about. So I belong to FemCity Des Moines, but I also belong to FemCity Global. So tell us a little bit about the difference and what each group provides. Because again, the FemCity Global, my goodness, the education that we get with that and the book series and the monthly series, it's phenomenal.
So the global membership really was designed out of need because we have women who are, yes, they're looking to connect in their local communities and build their business and their brand in their local community. But what we also learn over time is that sometimes women grow out of or beyond their local community, and they're ready to build their brand, expand their brands into other areas, other cities, other regions, or maybe they've expanded their brand in such a way that they now offer a virtual product or service, and they can now have clients in a wide variety of places or even all over the world, right? So that really was why the global program was designed. So if you think about our membership, think about it as like our highest level of membership. And that's for women who have grown beyond their local Fem City, and they have products or services that they're offering to a potential customer base around the world. Or some women don't necessarily aren't looking to expand their product or service, but they are looking for connection with women who are doing that, they're looking to learn from them, to connect from them, to kind of step out of maybe their own, their geographic circle of influence and connect with women who are on another, the other side of the country or in another country perhaps. And so our global program offers really we look for ways to provide more exposure for these women who have a wider potential customer base. And we also consider them to be experts in their field. There is a requirement they have to be in business for a certain amount of time. So they become our collaborators and our partners at a national and international level with FemCity. So for example, when Fems ask us to teach a class on how to use Instagram stories to promote your business, this is a new space for a lot of people, and they want to learn it. So we'll reach out to Giselle as an example. She's the Global Fem, and she's the Instagram professor, and she'll teach a master class on how to use Instagram stories to promote your business. So she's part of our global program. So she's learning and connecting with other women, and she's also teaching and speaking and sharing her expertise. So it's really, our highest level of membership, and for women who've outgrown their local Fem City, and for women who want to give and receive, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking of Amanda Davis, who, teaches QuickBooks and bookkeeping. And the information that she's able to provide in that space, basically all around the world.
Absolutely. And it's great information for women who want to gain a better understanding about bookkeeping or accounting, and how to put certain processes in place, and when to outsource it, when to hire someone. So it's been really great that we have her as a global femme to share that expertise that she has. And in the same way, we hope that it spreads the word about her business and the services that she offers.
Most definitely. Well, and I think what's great about it too, well, I don't think I know it is that it also provides that aspect of women that want to work with other women. In the business and support each other's business. And it provides a very, very safe place where that you're going to get the top-notch customer service also. Because like you said, there are requirements
Right. So it's the global program's not necessarily for someone who's just starting out, or maybe someone who is taking a dive into a completely new
Yeah.
industry, right? That they haven't been in before, and maybe recreating her career, or launching a business that she doesn't have experience in
Yeah.
as a new venture. So it might not be the right fit for that person, but it is a great fit for someone who has got some experience behind them, has developed an expertise in their field, and has a lot of content and wisdom to share with other femmes so that others can learn from her.
Yeah. One thing that we've been asking consistently of our guests is that, it is the day of age of technology and social media. How do you have guidelines where you protect yourself? And what I mean by that is that, sometimes it can become very overwhelming. Are there days that take a break from technology? Because of course this is phenomenal that we can reach people across the world, but then there's days where it's like, oh my goodness, if I have to answer one more email or do one more Instagram post, Cheyenne, I don't know what I'm going to do.
I absolutely feel that. So there are a couple of things that I do. So two things really. So one, I have, my own sort of, I realized I had to develop my own kind of personal philosophy for myself around social media. And let me circle back to that. But the second thing I do is I try my best to observe what I now call Unplugged Sunday. So I just have decided that to take once a week a full 24-hour um, screen break,
I love it.
really, with the exception of sometimes I do watch a little TV, but that's no computer.
Yes.
I don't even turn on my phone, my mobile phone. I tell my friends and family, if you need me, if you have an emergency, you can call me on the good old fashioned landline at home. And I turn off my phone and I call it Unplugged Sunday, and I don't require my family to do it with me, but I invite them to do it with me. And it's interesting because sometimes, I don't have a 100% solid track record.
Yeah.
There have been many Sundays when I've said, oh, let me just, Monday I'm going to have a million emails. Let me
Yes.
just do a few tonight. Or, let me just check if I've gotten, that text from my brother that I was waiting to hear back from, or whatever it may be. And I'll, look at my phone here and there. Or maybe I'll want to take some pictures and I'll say, oh, I'm just going to take a few pictures. So I admittedly do not have a 100% track record, and don't pretend that I do. But I like to kind of put myself in the mindset that once a week, I'm going to allow myself to disconnect, and it's okay. It's for my benefit. It's for my family's benefit. And it also, I like my children seeing that I disconnect, because I'm often out telling them that too much screen time is not good for them. So I like to try to model the behavior as best I can. And my children have caught me. They have said, Mom, you're on your phone. Isn't it Unplugged Sunday? Aren't you supposed to be unplugged? And I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right. I need to put my phone down. Yeah. So that's what I do for myself. And I encourage other people to try an Unplugged Sunday, or maybe you want to try an Unplugged Friday afternoon or Friday night or Saturday nights, or, start small if 24 hours feels overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
But try to observe some unplugged time for yourself, and you'd be surprised when you do it on a regular basis. Now I begin to look forward to it, and I find it totally refreshing.
Oh goodness, most definitely. Hannah, we're trying to
So
work on that.
Just circle back to my personal philosophy about social media. So I think the other thing is it can become overwhelming sometimes with social media. And so especially when you use it personally and for your business, if you're if you're the person who's handling a lot of your social media for your business, and a lot of femmes are, because a lot of us are solo entrepreneurs, or we just, we have small teams, right? So we're doing a lot of it ourselves. And so my personal philosophy is also that I keep everything positive, only positivity. I don't share things that are negative. I don't rant. I don't share anything that's going to put anything negative out into the world. And I really try not to engage, read, or review the same. So if it's positive and uplifting and supportive, I share it, and I allow myself to read it, or, absorb it. And if not, I really just try to completely eliminate it from my space. And that can be hard in social media space, but it is okay to walk away and not engage in social media when it doesn't feel right.
Yes, 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 yes. Because there have been times, I don't know about you, Hannah, especially when it comes to something political, where again, I've learned just to scroll on by.
Right.
Because you can be having a wonderful morning and then, 5 minutes later, you've read all these comments and it's like, oh, goodness gracious.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how could that person think that? Right?
Yes,
right?
yes, yes,
how
yes.
Could they say that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So what do you see on the horizon for FemCity?
Oh my goodness. I feel like, it's interesting because we see a lot of women being drawn to FemCity because they are really redefining their own lives and their lifestyle. So a lot of women are starting businesses now because they want more flexibility. They want to leverage and maybe an expertise that they developed in a corporate career over many years. And now they're saying, okay, you know what, I'm ready to use all of what I've learned, all of what I've done to, do something on my own. We're seeing women start side hustles on the side. Maybe they're not ready to, fully jump into something full time, but they want to make extra money on the side. So we're seeing that as well. And so one of the things that we're doing is we're trying to offer a lot more content in the virtual space because we're seeing women are very mobile. So sometimes women have a main location, but they're, because they've developed a lifestyle where that affords them some flexibility. Some of them travel, some of them are, with snowbirds. We have femmes who are in Canada in the summer and then they're in Florida in the winter. And so we're developing a lot more content in the virtual space so that yes, it's great that women will be able to get together in their own community with their home fem cities, but that they're still able to access materials and resources that they need, maybe when they're not in their own home fem city. So as an example, we just launched it just started last week, a 20-week course on how to launch and grow your business. And that's free to members. So it's a new course released each week. Everything from handling legal in your business to have your logo design to PR, kind of just walking through the steps, right, of the things that you need when you launch and you grow your business, and just making that available online at a pace that works for you. So you don't have to attend it live. You can download each class whenever you're ready for the next class, or maybe you just download the specific classes that you need. Maybe you don't need all 20 weeks. Maybe there are 5 topics in there that are, you feel like you have some gaps in your business that would be helpful information for you to learn. So we're developing a lot more in the virtual space. And then we're also trying to build out more physical locations, our collectives especially. These are for smaller groups of 25, 30 women who may not be in large metro areas or not even in secondary, size markets, but maybe they're in smaller cities and towns, but they're saying to us, we really want a fem city. There are women in business here who, I'm a woman in business. I'm starting a business and I want to connect with other women in business. And so we want to give them the opportunity to do that. So one of the other things we're doing is really expanding the ability for women to start their own FemCity collectives in their own backyards. So we've made it easier than ever for someone to start one. We now have, as an example, when someone starts her own FemCity, we have built an online portal for her to access an entire roadmap. So here's what you do first. Here's how you have your launch event. Here's your agenda for it. Here are the materials you're going to need. Here's the mantra that you share that shares the spirit of FemCity so that everyone knows, what this is about and that this is a positive place. So we've developed all these materials so that it makes it easier for women in any town or city to start their own FemCity.
Love that.
I can think of a few cities, even just in Iowa, that I could see a FemCity.
Oh,
Hopefully
yeah.
Smaller ones.
Yep.
Most definitely.
We can see them everywhere, really. I mean, there's there's been such an explosion of women starting businesses, and they want to connect with other women who are doing the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, do you like to read, Cheyenne?
I do.
Do you have a favorite book right now? We always like to ask
Oh,
what people are reading.
So interesting. I can't read business books at night because they keep my mind racing.
Yeah.
And my mind starts going clickety, 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 click. And I think of all these ideas and I can't go to bed. So at night I read novels. And during the day when I have time, I read is when I dedicate time to read business books. So my favorite business book, I'll share that one, is called Never Eat Alone. And it's by Keith Ferrazzi. And Never Eat Alone. It's probably published almost 10 years ago, but I feel like it's almost like a classic business book for. I only wish I wrote it myself or that it was written by a woman, but it's like the classic rules of connecting with other people in business authentically, and has very simple, easily implementable ways that you can expand your network of influence in sometimes a little bit old-fashioned ways, like calling people on the phone, thanking people, remembering someone's birthday, maybe not necessarily just on Facebook, but calling them and say, hey, it's your birthday, what do you have planned today? But picking up the phone, sending thank yous, following up, connecting in person, these types of things. But the way it's laid out, I think it just kind of brilliantly flows. And, I have read that book so many times and I always go back to that book. So it's called Never Eat Alone.
I love that.
Yeah. And, again, in the day and age of technology, I find even ourselves, at Trixies, we do handwritten notes.
Yeah. It's almost more important now than it was when that book was written. Just with, our world now.
Yeah. Yep. Most definitely. Most definitely. Do you have a favorite mantra?
Oh my goodness. I love I love quotes and mantras and, one of my favorites, and I think it's, I think it's by Maya Angelou. Now it's escaping me, but it's the quote that says, people, won't necessarily remember what you said to them, but they'll remember how you made them feel. And so that's something that I really try to live by, in business, I just always feel like even in difficult, challenging situations, it's always possible to be professional. It's always possible to be kind, even in the most challenging of situations. And so that is really just how I try to go through business and life, is always being kind and respectful and professional, and trying to be a resource to other people.
Well, that definitely is very, very truthful about you, dear.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I do have to say that.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Definitely. So my former career before FemCity, I was a fundraiser. So I was in the world of philanthropy. And so my job was, for many years, was to raise money. And to raise money, you have to ask for money. And imagine it being your job every single day to have to go and ask people for money. And it's a really tricky situation to be in because, I envision myself, walking in the room and everyone thinking, oh my gosh, here comes the girl who is always asking for something. So early on in my career, that forced me. It's a great, really life lesson for me because it forced me to say to myself, okay, how am I going to build my brand around not being seen as that? Yes, it's my job to ask for money for those who can't or those who are in need, but how can I be seen as someone who's resourceful and helpful? And so that's what I just decided to do. I decided, I'm going to try to connect people. I'm going to try to be a resource. I'm going to try to be a valuable asset to people that I meet along the way in business. And so I was sort of forced into that role, but I've always carried it with me. And I found that you can have really incredible success by being the person who is the most resourceful, the most helpful, the most giving. And it's a great thing when people turn to you for support, advice, or help in connecting with someone else. So even when you are, in your business, whenever you're faced with a need in your business, I try to think about, okay, well, how can I spend this in such a way that I can be helpful to others so that they're excited to then support me in return when I need it.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Again, in going back to Annie's event last night, that's what she talked about, being authentic. And, it's a give take, and even, with the energy, it being being a give and take. And when, you described FemCity, to the T, and that high energy, and people are excited, I think you said spirit.
The spirit of it, yes.
The spirit of it. And it that definitely is what is drawing people to the group. Most definitely to the group.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
So tell us, before we end our conversation, how can people join FemCity? Where do we find you on social media? All that good stuff.
Super easy. So our website is femcity.com. And if you just click on the Join Now or the Membership tab, you can see the different membership options. If you're not sure if it's right for you, you can sign up for a free 30-day trial and just kind of give it a test run and see, access some of the materials on the website, some of the classes, the worksheets. See, okay, what's going to be helpful to you. Maybe attend your first event if you have a location near you. And if you're ready to join, super easy. Right now, during the month of June, so it's June 2019, you can join for $9.99 a month. That's the regular price is $25 a month. You don't need any discount code for that. You could also join in June 2019. We're running a summer promo for annual membership. So the regular price is $150 a year. And you can grab it for $99 a year if you enter the promo code SUMMER99 in all caps. SUMMER99. You can get it for $99. And then you can find us on social media everywhere, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at FemCity.
Fantastic. Well, I have to tell you, I took advantage of the lifetime membership. Yes. From time to time, we do offer the lifetime membership, and I think it is available on the website right now. Sometimes it comes up and it goes down. Yeah. Depending. Yep. Oh my goodness. As soon as I seen that, I was like, oh yes.
So for those who don't know, the lifetime membership is basically you pay one time and then you never have to renew or never pay again.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not going anywhere soon from FemCity, so we'll just make this commitment now.
I feel like that's the easiest way. It's just
I agree.
Do it, and then you just forget about it, and then you can just kind of come and go to as many things and access as much or as little as you want, and not really even have to worry about it.
Yeah. Well, thank you again for all of the amazing things you're doing for all of us beautiful women in this group, that's for sure. And I'm so excited to see what the future holds for FemCity.
Me too.
Oh, thank you, Tricia. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you so much for having me. This has been fun.
Thank you for joining us. Yeah.
Wonderful. Have a fantastic hump day.
Thank you. You too. All right.